These are cheesecakes in a can. However, this is grilled chicken with the bone in a can too. Let's open it up. As you can see here, it says grilled chicken, and it is by Mr. Cancel in collaboration with Brooklyn Brewery. And we can see a chicken thigh, chicken leg with the bone in it, and it says craft canned. I just recently came back from Japan, and they have such an interesting and unique culture of canned foods that I have never seen before. So today we're going to be looking at 10 different canned foods that are unique, weird, and interesting straight from Japan. Let me know in the comment section below what is the most interesting, odd, or funniest thing you've ever eaten from a can. And stay tuned for part 2 and 3 because I have a total of 30 different cans. However, let's start off with our first one over here, which is the grilled chicken. And I am super curious. I love the art on this. It does give this nostalgic, kind of playful look to it. Almost seems like something you would do after a long day of work. All right, so let's see how that looks. I don't even know if we're supposed to heat it up, but we're gonna try all of them. Oh my goodness. That, it smells really strongly of chicken, obviously. And I'm really curious. Yes, I see the bone over here. I'm gonna go get some utensils. This is so weird. So, I have my fork, and I feel like, yes, this is definitely a bone over here. All right, so let's pull this out and take a closer look at what is actually in a can. My goodness, what is this? Look at that. All right, that is pink. Am I supposed to eat this? There's more. Let's not take out all of it. I have to say though, it does smell really good, very akin to barbecue chicken, and it smells really strong. If we look at the texture over here, we can see the actual skin of the chicken, so it doesn't seem like it's the kind that we get in North America, which you think it's chicken, but it kind of looks like chicken, and it's just, I don't know, canned food in North America, I have not had good experiences. And over here, look at that, it actually flakes. This is really tender. And you know it's a piece of chicken because it comes with the bone in. I am slightly concerned just because it is a little bit on the pink side, but it's been canned. It should be okay, right?
Please say so.
All right, here we go. Okay, this really tasted like something you could get out of a restaurant. It's not dry, it's really well seasoned, and I bet you if you heated this up and put it on a plate, people will not know that this is straight from a can. Genuinely does not taste like any kind of preservative. I'm actually going to give this a rating of 8 on 10. What the heck? And so as you can see on my desk, we have 10 different cans to explore. Everything from the chicken that we just tried, all the way to the cheesecake. That's dessert, so we're gonna try that later on in the video. But we have full actual meals that include the meat and the rice. Actual canned burgers. Like, these are burgers that you can put into a bun. We even have bacon in 2 different kinds of flavor, regular and honey. And this is definitely not a Japanese meal, but we have borscht. In Tokyo, there's actually an izakaya culture where you go into a shop, you select the canned foods, you give it to the shop, and then they serve it to you with whatever drinks you order. Now I tried to go there, however, they're like, no, you cannot take the cans, so I had to find a different place to go to, and this one is actually in a station in Tokyo called Shimbashi. And as you can see, this whole shop is purely only canned goods and preserved goods. And if I'm not mistaken, it's actually called Canderful, and you can get everything from savory foods to high-end, extremely expensive canned goods. We're talking like Kobe beef style, one of the most expensive beefs in Japan. All the way to dessert and bread, which we will be exploring in part 2 and 3 of these videos. Which means if you haven't actually subscribed yet, make sure that you do. And this is a sharp pointy thing, because I will take every occasion to show you my sharp pointy thing. Do you like it? Say it's pretty. Say it. And while you're there, make sure you click on all notifications. Obviously, we're all here for the cheesecake, but we're gonna move this aside because it does show that there are fruits in this one. Now, I don't know if it's false advertisement. Usually Japan is big on not being false advertisement, so we're gonna try and check if there's actual fruits in there too. But let's move on to the next thing that most of us are familiar with, which is hamburger. So as you can see in the shop, this one is specifically around $11.88. We're gonna convert it to dollars here because I'm talking about it in Japanese yen. And it does say on the can, feeding the future with sustainable farming. And even in the shop, you'll see that there are pictures of what's inside the can, and we can see an actual whole burger. Up to that point, that price tag has completely taken me by surprise for around $11.88. Again, we're gonna convert it into USDs here on screen for you. But paying that much for canned food kind of did a little straight into my heart. But additionally, I also found this version of a hamburger at another shop for half the price. So I'm curious which one of these two is actually better, the expensive one or the cheaper one? Because these two, the grilled chicken and this hamburger, are made by the same company. So the flavor, I think, is going to be pretty good. And for those of you who know how to read Japanese, feel free to pause and see what it says all the way around. Although after doing a quick Google Translate, I feel a little cheated here because it does say ground pork and beef 50%. Percentage at the time of preparation. So it is not fully a beef burger. There's 50-50 in there. So be very careful for any migraines that cannot eat any kind of pork. Make sure that you do translate before buying. So let's check out our first canned burger. Why am I nervous? I'm really nervous. Oh, what? Is that oil? That is oil. Okay. Now I thought this was going to smell like cat food, but it actually smells like a burger. The scent of these things is really strong. This is oily. My goodness, I did not expect oil. I don't know what I expected, to be honest. Oil is definitely better than water, right? All right, let's bring a plate over here, and we're gonna. That is holding itself. Wow. That is a girthy burger. Oh my gosh, what? Okay, there's the gelatinous fat at the bottom. Okay, that is an actual burger. That is a hefty size. I thought it would be thin, almost like a McDonald's patty, but it's actually pretty thick. She do be thick. And now I have oil everywhere. Give me a second. I am genuinely right now shocked because for the most part, when you open anything that is meat-based in North America, it really does smell like canned pet food. But this one genuinely smells like a burger patty. It's not off-putting, it's not weird, it doesn't smell like preservatives. So I'm really curious on the taste here, but before we do that, I want to open the second one. Because this is meat and we didn't heat up the previous one, I feel like it would do these more justice if we heated it up. So hopefully this is not more oil, but then again, maybe the oil is what's making this not smell so bad. Okay. Oh, okay. This is not an oil. This is an actual gravy. Excuse me? It smells like champagne? Okay. And a quick Google Translate tells us that this is actually hamburger in a demi-glaze sauce. And it actually does take some wine, I believe, to make a demi-glaze sauce, so it makes sense that I do smell a little bit of that alcohol. We have mushrooms. Okay. No, stop. The hamburger is actually charbroiled. Get out of here. Okay, here's our little hamburger, which I really want to isolate over here. Hang on. I want to remove this like so, and we're gonna put this in front of y'all to see. Only one of the sides has these char-grilled type marks. Now, I don't know if this is a real char grill or if they faked it so that it could look good, but here it is. What? Okay, hang on. I was about to put the mushrooms on top, but it looks like we get 2 hamburgers in here. So I'm just gonna take a few of the mushrooms, like so. It really does smell like wine. And we're gonna put this right on top, like this. And I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the microwave for about 20 seconds.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I did put it for longer than I wanted to, which is about 40 seconds instead of 20, because I wanted it to heat up whatever was on the inside. I don't want to eat cold, fatty foods, and they look basically the same. So we're gonna start with the beefier burger over here, and it hasn't changed at all. It is quite warm. So let's break into, wow, that is soft. That is quite soft. Here's what it looks like on the inside. It does look like canned meat. There's no way about it, but it does hold itself. So I'm curious if it's going to actually be good if we did want to put it in a burger bun. Bon appetit. Oh, excuse me. Okay, this would make a really good burger for a burger bun. It is soft, it is melty, it doesn't have any kind of chew to it depending on how you like your burgers. It is extremely tender and it's really well seasoned. It's a little salty, but also you can taste the onion in there. I am genuinely surprised. This is really good. Again, for canned food, I'm going to give this a 7.5. Now, for some reason, this one I have less hope on just because, okay, it actually got soft. Because I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about the sauce itself, so let's go ahead and break into it. Okay, same thing, pretty soft. Here's what it looks like on the inside. Again, same kind of look as the other one. Let's go ahead and take a bite. No. Yeah, that genuinely actually tasted like pet food. Don't ask me how I know what pet food tastes like, but I have stories. Oh, that's nasty. And I can't tell if it's gross because of the meat or because of the sauce, but the sauce itself is just not pleasant. I've had a good demi-glaze, which should taste like a robust kind of gravy, and this is not it. This is just nasty. You know what? Let's go ahead and try a mushroom. Hang on, let me get a napkin ready. I need a napkin. And here's the mushroom. We've all at some point had a canned mushroom, so it shouldn't be anything weird, but it's gonna depend on the flavor. Mushroom is fine. The sauce is still pretty nasty. I'm gonna give this a 1 on 10. I would never buy this again. So clearly the more expensive burger patty in a can in the oil is the winner here. Now this is the perfect time to cleanse my palate, so I will take juice in a can. Yes, this is peach juice, but Japan also has a huge culture of coffees in cans. So you can get everything from lattes to teas to coffee to chocolate milk all in a can so you can drink it on the go. And these are really easy to get from vending machines all over Japan. And one of the examples here, this is part of my personal collection just because this is canned coffee, but because I am a nerd and a geek, this one here is special limited edition of My Hero Academia. So I am not going to be drinking this. It's just kind of sitting on my shelf as a novelty item from Japan. But we do have a peach nectar. Oh, that is delicious. I picked this one up because I knew it was delicious. And I want to show you that these canned juices are absolutely phenomenal. It's not the fake stuff or the powder or the synthetic things that we get in North America. It really is a peach nectar. Look at that. And there's even a little bit of pulp and some pieces of peach in there. It's one of my favorite drinks. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in the winter, Japan's vending machines actually start carrying different kinds of canned soups, like corn, chowder, crab, onion soup. You can see here in the picture. But now let's go ahead, and this has piqued my curiosity, which is full canned meals. That includes the rice and the protein. Here's what it looked like when I found it at the shop.
At the front of the store, there seems to have chicken and rice, as well as beef and rice, and they said that it's a really good souvenir. So I think we're gonna go ahead and grab one of each, and we're gonna roll with that.
And again, I love the fact that in the stores, it does show you what's inside the can itself. If we look at the one with the rice and chicken, it should, in theory, look like it's rice with chicken like this. And for the beef, we should also be getting chunks of beef with rice. And for about $9 a can, this is not cheap. This is actually more expensive than most of the restaurants in Japan because you can get a full meal for approximately 500 to 600 or even 800 yen. So this had better be a really good meal. The can is cute if you're just buying it for novelty. This one just has a train with a chicken on it. And same thing with this one, we have a train with a cow on top. If you like to collect cans or anything like that, I guess it's cute, but we're here to taste it. So despite the fact that we have the image over here, the can opens from the side. So let's open it. And what do you look like? Oh goodness. Oh, that looks nasty. That looks so nasty. It doesn't have a smell. This is just my visual reflexes here. Let's take a sniff. Not sure how I feel about it. It kind of just smells like canned rice. And we're gonna heat this up for sure. And it looks like there's a little bit of a film on top of the rice itself. And these look like actual brown rice. And we have the chunk of chicken right here. And they are actually pretty generous with the chunk. They're not too tiny. You can actually see them over here. And let's check out the beef can. Okay, this one definitely has quite a bit of beef. The smell is exactly the same. The most overpowering thing about these cans is actually the rice smell. Let's see what the beef looks like. So it's tiny chunks of beef, which reminds me of gyudon. And that is a really popular dish in Japan. You have so many chains of restaurants like Yoshinoya who serve up really cheap meals that are very complete for anywhere between 400 yen to about 700 yen. And you get your bowl of rice with actual thin sliced beef on top. And this is what this is reminding me of. So let's go ahead and put some of the chicken and the rice. It is really, really stiff in there. You definitely cannot eat this until you heat it up. Put 2 pieces of chicken. And we're gonna wipe the fork so we don't get any kind of flavor contamination. And now we're gonna take more of this rice right here, put it over here, and we're just gonna put a couple of pieces of that beef. Voila. It really smells overwhelmingly of just rice. I'm not too pleased with that scent. And I do smell the seasoning. I can smell that there is soy sauce and a little bit of that mirin. So think of old sushi rice. That's basically what it smells like. All right, into the microwave we go. All right, here we are back with the rice. Now it does smell still very strong of soy sauce and mirin, so it's a little sweet, salty kind of scent. And I'm really curious about the rice itself, so let's go for the rice first. And we're gonna taste the rice from both of them. So here's the one with the chicken and rice. That is not pleasant. Definitely brown rice. And the rice really does taste like soy sauce and mirin. That's it. I am not a fan. I would not pay $8 for this. Let's taste the one with the beef if it has any kind of different flavor. And I'm not a fan of brown rice to begin with. Again, this is brown rice. And somehow this tastes worse. Oh, nasty. I would not pay money for this. I can't even talk anymore. Oh, nasty. At least I have you, Nectar. Since we're already on the nasty side, let's go ahead and actually try the beef from the can. And the beef is not as bad as the rice, but it ain't great. It exactly tastes like beef jerky, just wet. And I think that's the best way to also describe the rice. It has like this teriyaki beef jerky kind of smokiness to it. And let's try the chicken. Oh, that is tough. That is not tender. The first chicken we had, that was really tender. I really enjoyed that. I'm not having too much faith in this one. Of course. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and safely say that this meal, for me, probably a 0 on 10. There's no way I would even try and take a second bite. I am not pleased with this whatsoever. Nasty.
And then over here we have cheesecake, chocolate cake, and matcha cake. Let's just take these two and see how they fare.
And as you saw, now we have the cheesecake. I kind of want to change my palate from all these savory things. And I did get 2 different ones and they did cost me about the same thing. So I'm really curious. This one is Mr. Kenzo, which we've already tried different things with it. It's either a hit or a miss. And this one, I am not familiar with this brand at all. But again, we are getting cheesecake in a can, which is really unique. I don't think I've seen a dessert other than fruits in a can here in North America. So I'm really excited to try this out. So let's open the one first that says that there are fruits in here, which I really hope there is because this would make the experience even more interesting. And then Google Translate says, just open it and you can eat it right away. And we have cheesecake, and the subtitle is just cheesecake. So the good thing is we don't have to heat this up. I mean, it's a cake after all, so I don't think we need to heat this up. All right, let's see what this cake is about. My goodness. Oh, that came off easy. Interesting. So we have a little bit of a residue on the top, which I'm pretty surprised on. What is that? Doesn't smell like it. Oh no, it smells like cheese. It actually smells like cheese. And I don't think we're going to have a chance to pull this out or to even see what it looks like. Maybe the fruit is at the bottom, but we can see that it was possibly baked in the can itself, or at least poured in the can and set, because we do have a brown rim over here. And I kind of want to compare it with the other one. So let's open this one right away, but I do want to label them. So I'm going to put some washi tape. By the way, if you do like this washi tape, this is courtesy of Bailey J, who has an adorable shop with really cute washi tape and sketchbooks. So this is the Mr. Kenzo one, and this is the other brand. So let's pull this over here. Oh, there's a QR code. Wait, they're both Mr. Kenzo? Wait, are they? Give me a second. Okay, clearly I was wrong. Clearly. So this one is the other brand that said it had fruit, and this is the Mr. Kenzo one. Why is this hard to open? Come on. Come on. But also, let's see where that QR code brings us. Cleanbrothers.net. Okay, this is showing us all the different kinds of canned, I guess, restaurants and izakayas and pubs that are around Japan. So you can enjoy canned meals if you want that canned experience. Honestly, it's a fun idea. You get to open cans and see what they're about. Is it a gourmet idea? No. Will it cost you a gourmet idea? Yes. So let's see what this one looks like. This one opens nicely. It also has that residue on the top. And here's what they both look like. This one has a better color to it. Also has a very cheesy scent. I mean, it is a cheesecake. But let's go ahead and dig in. So this one told us that there's supposed to be fruits. Oh wow, she is thick. My goodness. No fruit. Definitely no fruit. And Japanese cheesecake is very different from North American cheesecake in that it is way more cheesier. It almost feels like it was made with aged cheese rather than cream cheese. But let's go ahead and try this one out. Okay, it's really dense, not too sweet, creamy. This is really good. I can see myself having a coffee and eating from this can. Now, can you get better quality cheesecake for about the same price in Japan? Yes, but if you can't bring it with you from Japan, this would actually make a good souvenir so far. Now let's try the other one. Oh wow, this is fluffier, a lot fluffier. So let's go from the middle. Again, same kind of feel and look. This one feels a little bit more gelatinous. So let's see what the flavor of this one is like. Again, no fruits, nothing. Smells way more intense. Interesting. This one is a little bit more tart. This one's a little bit more on the sweeter side. I think I prefer the one on the left even more than the Canso one. So I'm going to give this brand a 7.8 on 10, and this one closer to a 6.5 on 10. You can tell this one is a little bit more fake tasting, so there are preservatives, whereas this one feels a little closer to more natural, less preservatives. I was really hoping they would put some kind of compote. Does that work in English? Can we say compote? Compote in French, like a jam. Kitty editor, please educate us.
Education time with Kitty.
Compote. 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 Compote.
I think if they had added a jam, a strawberry jam, or any kind of fruit jam on top, it would have made this even better. Palette cleanser time. Yep. And now for bacon. And this was intriguing because aesthetically, this looks really pretty. I don't know if this is going to be actually good, but we do have the natural flavor and the honey glazed flavor. Here in Canada, we do have maple bacon and it is absolutely phenomenally delicious. So I'm curious if the honey one's good here. Now the container itself does tell us that if we heat this up, it's actually going to be way tastier. And according again to the packaging, we should be able to boil the can directly into boiling water. Now I'm not crazy about putting metal things in heat. It is pretty soft though, so it does feel like it's aluminum rather than a hard can, but I think we're going to stick to what we've been doing and just microwaving it for small amounts of time. All right, let's see what this one looks like, and this is the black pepper bacon. That is nasty looking. Obviously, the front of the can shows us when it was already heated up. You know what? I'm going to boil the other one. So let's just wait. Voila. That is quite the fatty bacon. Let's take a sniff. It actually smells really good. It smells like exactly every bacon that you've ever eaten. Aesthetically, it's not as pretty, but again, it is pretty gelatinous. So what I'm going to do to give this a fair chance is I'm going to pull the honey mustard out and I'm just going to plop it in some boiling water for just a few minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to take the pepper one, put it on a plate and put it in the microwave for just a few seconds. So here are the ones that are actually heated in the microwave. They do look pretty good. They smell like smoky bacon, but I'm actually curious on the one that we heated in the boiling water, because is this one actually looking pretty like they showed us on the box itself? And the can is really hot, so we have to be very careful not to burn ourselves. Okay, are you going to be pretty? And the answer is, I mean, it does look really pretty. They're nicely aligned. I don't want to cut myself because this is definitely more of an aluminum can rather than a hard metal. Look at that. That is definitely prettier than this gelatinous part here. Now let's see if there's a taste difference. So this is going to be the honey mustard. That is soft. Again, has the smoky scent to it. This one does smell a little sweeter, but let's see what it tastes like. Bacon from a can. Not the worst thing I've had, and the fat just melts. It actually kind of has like this burst and it coats your entire mouth. I'm not sure how I feel about that right now. I do have goosebumps because I'm not too crazy about it. I can't taste too much of the honey, but I can definitely see if you had a little couple of adult juices, this could be decent. But otherwise, I don't see myself craving this. Let's try the black pepper one with the ones that were actually heated in the microwave. The one in the microwave has more of a bite, a little more resistance to it, which I kind of like because it is meat. And the pepperiness of this is actually way tastier than the honey mustard. This I can see myself order after a couple of adult juices. But would I crave it? No. So I'm going to give the black pepper one probably a 6.5 on 10. And the honey mustard for me is just going to get a 3 on 10. Who would have thought bacon in a can? By the way, I really am curious. I really want to know in the comments if you have ever had any of these things from a can before from where you are. Because I have never seen bacon in a can. Which brings us to our next item. Borscht. And it does say here that it's a portion for 2 people. And it tastes like grandma. Granny, what did they do to you? They put you in the soup. Now, I've never had borscht before, but for those of you who may know, my husband Pat is Polish, and he talks about borscht, Polish borscht, quite a bit. So I'm curious if this tastes like anything he's actually had. And they are claiming that there's a lot of meat and veggies. And you can see our adventures in the Canderful store where we're just Google translating everything. And here we're picking up the borscht and the price tag, as you can see here. Kitty editor, let's zoom in a little bit and let's change that into USDs for you. Again, these cans are not cheap, so they better be good experiences. For the most part, we've seen that they're kind of iffy. All right, so let's see if it actually does have lots of meat and veggies. Oh my goodness, that just burst everywhere. Very tomatoey. So far, it just smells like tomatoes. My goodness. Onions. These are definitely gigantic pieces of that's all I'm seeing is onions. Where is everything? Hello? let's keep stirring. I see a carrot. Anything else? More onions. Maybe it's cabbage. I am not seeing meat in here. Let's keep stirring. I'm gonna hope that at some point we're gonna see, oh, there we go. Is this meat or is that mushroom? I don't know what this is. I do not know what this is. Let's keep stirring. Oh, I see something. What are you? There's the meat. There we go. So we do have a chunk of meat over here, and I'm going to guess that these are probably slices of mushrooms or some other vegetable, maybe taro. The way to serve this is to pour it into a pot, add 100 mils of water, heat it, and then transfer it into a bowl and enjoy. I love the fact that they said with a little ingenuity, but I'm not gonna be ingenuitous. I think at $9 almost, it's 9 Canadian dollars. I wanna eat it as it is. Let's explore it. And so here it is, all heated up. I have to say that there's like barely any kind of veggies in there. So I'm a little sus that it says that it's for 2 people. I feel like with the amount of veggies in there, which they really cheaped out on, it's probably a one portion for a person. Do you think these canned foods are doing something to my brain? And you can see that the amount of meat in there is really just 2 pieces of meat, a couple of carrots, but the broth itself looks really pretty. Let's take a close-up on a spoon for that. And it is beautiful, it's glistening. The meat reminds me of the bacon we just ate, so I'm curious on how that's going to taste. But I think first, let's go ahead and start with the broth by itself. It tastes purely like a tomato soup with a lot of onions and a lot of cabbage. I think this could benefit from some black pepper. Let's go ahead and try the meat, which is basically the same thing as the bacon we ate. At least that's what it looks like. So you can see that it is fatty pieces over here. You know what? This is actually pretty good. It has some good bite to it. It's not too melty. But again, it has that overwhelming tomato flavor to it. Let's try potatoes. Potatoes are usually weird when they're in canned foods. They usually have this chalkiness to it. So let's see if the Japanese version still has chalkiness. Despite the fact that it is a borscht, it was canned and made in Japan. Yeah, still chalky potato. And then we have the carrot over here, which usually ends up just being kind of mushy and baby food-esque. Exactly the same. This is the closest to North American profile of food that we've had so far. Everything else was pretty unique in its own way. This one was very similar, again, to North American flavors. Yes, I know, it's borscht. It's not supposed to have Japanese flavors, but I thought they would have a bit more twist and better ways to preserve the veggies. So I'm going to say it's similar to North American version, which again, to me, North American canned food sits around a 5 on 10. Let me know which one of the canned foods you thought was the weirdest or which one you would like to try. If you want to check out more interesting and weird products, make sure you click up here. If you want to watch something a little different, make sure you click down here. Until then, I will see you grains in the next video.